John Fancy, and I run PM for the integration team at Microsoft. And today, I want to talk to you about one particular area of integration, which is often like really challenging, and that's connecting to ERP systems like SAP. So I'm going to attempt to show you how easy it is and how you can really drive down the development time of connecting to SAP in both directions, kind of getting data in and getting data out using Logic Apps as a way of getting that 100x boost in terms of time and productivity using the connectors that we have in Azure, being able to connect to your SAP systems wherever they reside. Whether it's in Azure, whether it's in SAP's cloud, or even whether it's still residing on premises, we have the ability to reach out to SAP and connect to it really easily from our integration cloud. So just a little intro in case you're not super familiar with Logic Apps. Has everyone used Logic Apps before? Yeah, not too many. All right, so Logic Apps is a cloud scale Azure integration service that provides both workflow and orchestration. So the difference there is that workflow usually has some people element, that I'm going to send an email and wait for a response to that email before I continue processing, so I need kind of long-running characteristics for this thing. And then you have the system-to-system aspects of integration, which are things like orchestration. And what becomes really important for that is having the right connectors, so you don't have to write all the code to connect to all the different systems that you may have, whether they're on premises in SaaS clouds like Salesforce, or whether they're in our cloud, or systems like Dynamics, but also third-party applications as well, obviously like SAP that I'm going to be talking about here. So Logic Apps provides a very graphical designer, rapid productivity environment to enable you to connect and construct business logic as part of the integration and connectivity to all of the different systems that we provide access to, and we have over 300 connectors today. But because it's an Azure product, it's integrated into Azure in terms of being able to provide API management over the top of Logic Apps, and even calling APIs, exposed to API management, being able to use messaging through service bus or triggering events from Event Grid. So it gives you that no-code productivity, but the ability to integrate into Azure and also even be able to integrate into Azure functions if you do want to write code. You can actually write JavaScript as part of the designer now and actually mix code and declarative workflow through the designer as well. So kind of removing any kind of edges that you're used to with integration with other products to make it front and center about integration productivity. As well as that, it's built for mission-critical 24/7 operations. You have many companies, over 10,000 companies running on this today, really depending on Logic Apps for things like invoicing, which obviously is critical for systems like SAP, but being able to communicate with trading partners through standardized protocols, as well as being able to connect with SaaS providers like Salesforce, Dropbox, or wherever else your data resides. And then the critical part of that, because it's aimed at developers, is being able to integrate it into your dev tool chain so you can do DevOps on it as well. So the ability to be able to check these things in. Behind every Logic App is an ARM template, so you can parameterize that. You can check it in through GitHub, and then you can deploy it through our VS Code extension, which was shown a couple of days ago, that we'll be releasing really soon with the full designer capabilities as well. So you have the ability to develop it in the browser, which is what I'm going to show here, because that's the easiest way of getting you started, but also then bringing that into Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code to do full kind of enterprise level development. So that's so what about SAP? Well, for SAP, we have dedicated connectors provided now, which allow you to trigger off of data changes in SAP and also being able to connect to SAP and update data there as well. So we have full capabilities for RFC and MAPI, but really trying to hide a lot of the complexity behind that, so you can just focus on the business logic and the workflow of what you're trying to achieve without getting stuck into the technical issues and complexities with doing that. The other thing I'll point out is that we have something called an integration service environment in Logic Apps, which is a dedicated compute version of Logic Apps running in Azure, but different to the consumption-based serverless offering that we have, which provides not just dedicated compute, but also the ability to do VNet connected back to your own data centers as well, which can be a big deal when you're talking about SAP and your ERP system as the kind of critical center of gravity in your organization. And we have support for that for the SAP connector coming very soon in the next couple of weeks or so. So I just wanted to call that out. So with that, I'm just going to jump straight in to showing you this thing, because that's the easiest way to kind of understand what it does and how to use it. So what I have here is Dynamics. And what I'm going to show is how I can take data from Dynamics and put it into SAP. But before I get to that, let's just actually pop over to Logic Apps and look at a really simple example. And here I've just got a really simple Logic app. I try to make it so simple that I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time explaining it. What this does is triggers off something happening in SAP and sends a response back to SAP. So how does that work? Well, I provided my endpoint, which gets registered into SAP directly. I have an SAP system running right here, and I can pull up a transaction and open that up and run it. And what this is going to do is call my Logic app. So I provide that Logic app endpoint. You see, that's this thing here where it's got the program ID that gets automatically registered in SAP. There's no configuration required by any SAP folks to do this. It does it automatically through the APIs behind it. And then it's going to take that data, which in this case, hopefully you can see kind of at the back, because it's for some reason not full screen. I can kind of take two numbers. I said this is really simple. We're going to get into the complex stuff in a minute. Let's say 3. Who wants to shout out another number? Oh, 7. Did I hear 7? So I'm going to take two numbers. I'm going to run this transaction, and it is magically going to come back the answer, which you could just about see, 10. 3 plus 7 equals 10. So like, let's have a look at how that works. So if I go to the Logic app and show the runs, then what I can see down the bottom here is that it succeeded. It ran at 11:37. I can open this up, and I can actually have a look at the run that it made and see it triggered from SAP. I can look at the raw data that came from SAP. It's in XML, but that's totally fine because we have full XML support for SAP. You have the ability to XPath into the data, get it out, convert it into JSON, and then you have a really nice way of being able to tokenize that, so you don't have to work with all the kind of individual addressing of the documents that you're processing. Oops, a little too small. So the next thing I do is I have a couple of variables. I got X and Y, and I kind of set both of those two variables up. I set the first one to 3, which is from that document received from SAP, and the next one is 7. And then I literally just add them together using this response object and send it back to SAP. So a really seamless integration between the two things without writing any code at all. Minimal configuration. I just need to know where the SAP system is, what its IP address. The Logic app will automatically register itself. I can actually see that on the SAP side as well. And it's just super easy to be able to create business process workflows doing this. So let's zoom out again. Let's look at a slightly more complicated example. So I showed Dynamics a second ago, so let's go back to that. So this is Dynamics CRM, and obviously there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is just a standard demo instance. I can click on contacts, and I can look at all the, I'm trying not to be too aggressive on my zooming this time, got a whole bunch of contact information in here. But one of the problems is, like, oftentimes you have multiple systems containing duplicative data that you need to keep in sync. So I have a CRM system for dealing with all my customer contact information, but these people are also set up as vendors potentially in my ERP system for SAP for things like invoicing, purchase orders, and all of that. So kind of how do I keep the contact information up to date between these two systems? And that's what I'm going to show here with Logic Apps. So if I actually kind of take one of these contacts and have a look, I can see that this guy Benno Kerman works for the School of Fine Arts. I've got his email address. I've got his phone number. I've got his address in Calgary, Ontario, Canada. And I can go to SAP where I have a table containing similar information that I created. So let's just kind of pull this up. Just give me a second. So you go to this data browser. I'm going to pull up a similar table in SAP showing some of the data that's there. I apologize for being tiny. And you see the top line has got this Benno Kerman, works for SAP, Calgary, USA. So I can go to Dynamics and I can make an update to that data. So let's change the city to, I don't know, somewhere else in Canada. Halifax. I've got a Canadian sitting there. I should ask him what another city in Ontario is, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to save this in Dynamics. Sorry, it's just going to give me a merge warning. I'm just going to ignore that. So I've updated the contact in Dynamics. Now I can go over to my Logic app, which is this one here, updating a customer in SAP. And in a few seconds, you can see I've run it a couple times earlier. In a few seconds, it's going to trigger this Logic app because this is working off of a schedule where it's just checking for Dynamics or updates. And you see it's already completed. I can open this up. And the first thing I do is I trigger off the data change in Dynamics. Then I go to SAP and look to see whether that's already a contact in SAP. And if it is, I'm going to kind of set up another couple of variables again where I kind of take the city information from the Dynamics. I also remember what it was previously, so I can kind of keep that state change. Another couple of things I can do, which I'll show in a second, is because we have so many connectors in Logic Apps, I can send, hey, a new customer into Teams. I can send an email for approval before I create that contact in SAP. But in this case, because it's already an existing contact, it just drops straight through to this update SAP contact and just passes that data in. SAP, have a look at what it's done, and just refresh this data. You may have to trust me here, but it has updated the city on the top line to Halifax. So super easy, again, no code required. Let's look at a slightly different example where I can take a contact that isn't already in Dynamics. Let's just kind of scroll down a bit and just randomly change one. And this time I'm just going to change the city to, I don't know, let's just change it to something completely random. Paris in Turkey. Let's save that. It's going to trigger my Logic app again. And this time it's going to, so just come all the way back out. This time it's going to take a different path through my Logic app. So when I see this one trigger, you can see it's running, but this one's not going to finish because it's waiting for my input. So if I open this up and see where it's at, this one is, done the same thing. It's looked up that contact in SAP, but it hasn't found it this time. So it kind of goes all the way through here to this logic here that says, is it new or changed? And it's making a comparison between the city that it had originally, and the city that it's been updated to. And then it posts a message to Teams, so everybody knows. But the next thing it does is it sends me an email for approval. So if I pop over to my inbox, you can see I've got an email. And I just have a very simple way of just being able to approve or reject this change. Just zoom in again on that. When I click that, it's just going to show me that that approval has been registered, and I'm going to immediately see the Logic app continues and updates the contact in SAP. And when I go back again and I refresh the data again, and this time I should see a new line. I've still got some, it hasn't updated all the data, I've just created a row. Obviously I can kind of add the other fields that came through, but the bottom line is a new entry that was a new contact in Dynamics. When I updated it, it actually recognized it didn't exist in SAP and updated it there as well. All right. So, let's spend a little more time in this Logic app. So if I kind of open this up and edit, go back, and say edit this Logic app. The way this kind of magic happens is that you can kind of see this long string, which I didn't have to create. Wow. Okay, scrolling's gone a bit wonky. Right at the top here, I've got this string kind of SAP, RFC, ZBAPI contact. So this is the BAPI that I created in SAP that kind of did the work of looking up the contact and sending it back. I don't have to write any of this either. I can just click on this little folder here. It's going to show me, by enumerating from SAP, all the objects that I have there. And then I just kind of path into each one of these, pick the object that I want. It uses something called the on-premises data gateway, so I don't need to have VNet connectivity to my SAP system. If it's running in Azure, may not even need the gateway at all because I can just use the IP address internally in the Azure network. But a lot of times you obviously don't want to put SAP on your public-facing internet, so you can put it behind a firewall, running the on-premises data gateway. You can drill in and look at all the objects you have in SAP and wire it up. And again, then the Logic app does the automatic registration so that when I run that transaction in SAP, it will trigger the Logic app. So I have the ability to kind of start a Logic app or actually send data from a Logic app into SAP and get data back out again and do something useful with it. Okay, let's get back to the slides. So, if you want to get started, this is the best place to do this. So this URL, aka.ms SAP Logic Apps, has the documentation on how to do this. It's got a full walkthrough in terms of how to create your first Logic app connected to SAP. Very, very simple, just a very quick walkthrough. So if you have an SAP system already, it becomes very easy to be able to do that and connect to SAP, create a Logic app that triggers off data changes in SAP or actually sends data in. If you're interested in moving SAP to Azure, there are plenty of people here on the show floor who'll be able to talk to you about that as well. And there's a link at the bottom there in terms of running SAP on Azure and how you can move SAP itself into Azure. Because the key advantages of connecting SAP to Azure is having the richness of all this connectivity and integration once you're there. So Logic Apps doesn't provide connectors for things like SAP and Dynamics, but it provides things like cognitive services. So forms recognition. You could take data that comes in paper format or via email attachments in PDFs, push them through the connector we have for Forms Recognizer. It'll pull out all the structured data out of that and create the invoices in SAP for you automatically. It works off a machine learning model that you can train from invoices you're already receiving, so it can figure out where the address and all the lines of the invoice or POs are to be able to do the automatic data extraction from those things, and it becomes a simple mapping task into the standard SAP objects to do that using our connector. And now you've started to really automate the processing capabilities that you have. Even if you're sort of needing to send out acknowledgements over X12 or Edifact or something like that, you can incorporate AI and machine learning into these processes to really streamline them and have them happen kind of automatically without any user interaction at all. And with that, I'm nearly at time, so I've got time for a couple of questions. So please, obviously, do an evaluation. That'd be awesome. But are there any questions in the last minute or two? Did I make it look like it's 100 times faster than what you're used to doing it, using the integration tools you may have today?
How did you handle the security between Logic Apps and SAP?
Yeah, so the way that works is, let's just pop back to the Logic app. So the way that works is something called a connection. So if you look at this step here, right down the bottom it says it's using my Gateway 2, which is on the desktop machine that I have back in Redmond, connected to our SAP system. So when I create that connection, it asks me for all the credentials and information about connecting to SAP. So if I actually kind of create a new one and click Change Connection, you can see I have a whole bunch of existing ones. It's super aggressive, this Zoom, once I plug it in. You can see, like, I give it a name. I can say what I want to use, message server or application server, and provide the username and passwords. We also provide support for SNC, so you get encryption. We're adding cert support and a bunch of other things as well, so you can fully use SAP's integrated security system to be able to connect securely from Logic Apps as well. And again, over the data gateway, very soon using the integration service environment as well. If you want to make sure it's only on the VNet and no traffic ever leaves your network, you're able to do that as well. Yeah. Okay.
Now, what kind of licensing do you need from the SAP side?
So I am not an SAP licensing expert. So I don't know in terms of what you have in terms of your contract with SAP for doing integration using our tools. Obviously, we've had some of these capabilities in a different form for a long time with BizTalk and other products. If you, the best person to answer that is your SAP rep who'll tell you. Usually, I do know usually some of the licensing complications come when you have kind of end users on these things, but if you're just doing system-to-system integration, it's a much simpler conversation, I believe. But I would check that with SAP.
How about on the Microsoft side, licensing for?
Oh, yes. So on our side, Logic Apps, what I'm showing here is Logic Apps is a consumption-based system, so you just pay for use. So each step in a Logic app is just metered. It costs $25 for 1 million executions of these things, so it's really cheap to get started. And then the SAP connector is metered. It's called an enterprise connector, so it's metered at a different rate. But even at kind of common volume levels, it's a very cost-effective solution. All right. Yep.
Yeah. What is the cases of using this?
What is the what, sorry?
In what cases customers can use
The cases.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the primary ones, I mean, you can get to anything in SAP, or even S/4HANA, right? So they're quite varied, because you can access just data, or you can access, the applications running in SAP. So the most common ones that we see are these common business processes, like purchase-to-pay operations, right? Where you're dealing with invoices or orders coming in. I'd say we have support in Logic Apps for all the standard industry protocols to do that. They've been around for decades. And being able to map those and turn those into XML or JSON documents to make them very easy to work with instead of their flat file formats. So if you have trading partners who are using these standard protocols, or even a different format that's specific to your industry, you can map that in using the mapping tools that we have in Logic Apps and connect it together to kind of deal with orders, invoices, shipping notifications, all of that stuff. But really, if you built your own objects in SAP, you can connect to all of that as well. So you have your own customizations, your own applications running in SAP, then obviously you can do that too, inventory management, HR, whatever it is. You can we have a very generic way of connecting to this, and discovery through the APIs being able to drive it for the UI to wire it up. All right, I think that's it. I'll be at the booth if you have any other questions, but otherwise, thanks very much for your time. Thank you.